and welcome once again to Good Frickin Cookin with your host, Ryan Frick. Today we're going to make my special Christmas glazed ham. Now this recipe, believe it or not, is super easy, and this ham comes out so good you almost can't believe it. So why don't we go ahead and just dive right in. So the first order of business is deciding what kind of ham you're going to use. Now see what I've got here. I've got a shank ham. It's been smoked, which is okay. It's also been fully cooked, which is what most of us come across. If you want to use a picnic shoulder, or the Boston butt, as they call it, that's good too. I prefer the ones with the bone in. If you got a boneless ham, that works okay too. Cooking time's a little different. If you have one of those spiral hams, best thing you can do is pick that bad boy up, wrapper and all, hold it directly over your trash can, and let go. As far as I'm concerned, those things are worthless. They cut those hams right down to the bone, and the cuts are so deep that all the moisture just goes right out of them. No amount of basting ever gets in there in between all those slices and keeps the moisture. If you could probably put it in a cooking bag and that would keep the moisture, but then you wouldn't have a chance to brown it or get the glaze to, be nice and sticky on the outside. So as far as I'm concerned, don't even bother with those. Anyway, preparation for this ham is simple enough. Take it out of the wrapper, take the little soaker pad off the top, you see there, and they also got a plate that covers the bone on the other side. Take that off as well. Then go ahead and get a small knife where you can grab the handle and you put your finger near the tip, say about a ½ inch away. See, like I'm doing here? Then go ahead and make cuts from the top to the bottom, kind of from left to right, I guess, and keep going around. Do it all the way around, and once you've done that, just go from right to left and go back, and you'll make a nice crosshatch pattern. Now, putting your finger on the blade, make sure that all your cuts are nice and uniform depth, and that way your ham will cook nice and evenly. Anyway, once you've done that, get yourself a roasting pan with a rack. Put in a cup of water to help keep moisture in the oven while you're cooking this. Place it big cut side down, and then you bake it off at 325 degrees for 20 minutes a pound for a bone-in ham. If you have a boneless ham, make that about 15 to 17 minutes a pound. In the meantime, we're going to make our glaze. Get yourself a saucepan, and in it put in 1 cup of packed brown sugar, 1/3 cup of honey, 1 teaspoon each of Dijon mustard and stone ground mustard. Now, if you don't have the stone ground mustard, don't worry about it. Just use 2 teaspoons of the Dijon, 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves, and some kind of juice, 1.5 cups of juice. Now you can use pineapple or orange or a mixture of the two. I had some lemonade hanging around, and I figured, why not? I'll put that in. Now I tried to figure out what else to put into this, and then it occurred to me that people will put fruit in their, glaze, like a marmalade or something. I had some wild berry preserves left over, so I put in 1/4 cup of that. That sounded really good to me. Anyway, hit it with a good pinch of salt and some cracked black. You bring it up to a boil, then back your heat off and continue on a low boil for a good 10 to 15 minutes until it's reduced. Then turn your heat off and set that aside. So 45 minutes before the ham is done cooking, take it outside the oven and baste it. Now make sure you baste it outside the oven, okay? Not with the door open. You want to keep the door on the oven closed so that it won't lose its heat and it won't extend your cooking time. So do this 3-4 times, and you bake your ham until the meat has pulled away from the bone. See, like you see on top there, it's already starting to do. And the internal temperature is 135 to 140 degrees when you insert your thermometer in the meat and it not touching the bone. Once you pull that out of the oven, go ahead and cover it with aluminum foil and let that rest a good 20 minutes anyway. I did mine for a ½ hour, just to let the juices redistribute. And there you have it. Let's get a hunk of that down to some scalloped potatoes I made. Oh, look at that. I'm telling you, I got to pat myself on the back. I thought that glaze was just awesome. This ham is great, and it'll make a beautiful Christmas dinner. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed making it. Until next time, this is Ryan Frick with Good Frickin Cookin. Catch you later.